When I think of the skills for the CCO in the future, I think of it as almost in two categories. The first are kind of the technical skills that we all talk about. So it's everything from strategic thinking and writing skills and leadership skills and data analytics skills. The second category, which is a little bit trickier, is really around intellectual curiosity. Maybe it's intellectual capability, number one, intellectual curiosity, and kind of a passion and a drive and a thirst to learn more and learn how to apply it to your function.
The CCO, when he is a member of a leadership team, and I would say more a business person, he or she is a business person who happens to have communication expertise. If it's that paradigm, it works great. So the CCO has to be an integrated part of running a business. Reputation's the foundation of any company's ability to do business. And I would say the primary goal of any CCO is to build a reputation. And that means that the CCO has to have the ears and the attention and the understanding of what's happening around the company to convey that.
I think one is that you need to be fluent in the business. You need to know enough about finance and marketing and operations to understand where people are coming from. And by the way, just the basic business circumstance, the situational dynamics of the business and what it's facing at any moment in time.
I think the biggest skill that came up is the importance of being able to lead through change and all the things that go with that, the dealing with ambiguity, the creating a path for others so that they can see their way out, and really aligning people in disparate points of view.
I think that in today's world with social media and total transparency across all companies, regardless of the sector, an operator mentality is more important than ever. I mean, the fact is every facet of your business is now visible to the outside world. And if you as a communicator aren't well-versed on that business and every facet of it and attuned to its rhythm and its cadence, you're never going to be able to either manage the issues that cross your desk or maximize the opportunities that cross your desk.
I mean, everything is digital now. When people kind of talk to us about, what do you I don't know, you prepared for a crisis in a digital world? I mean, everything is digital, And so the absence of kind of expertise is a huge, huge absence. So there again, I think if you kind of look at future skill sets and so forth, it's not just knowing it. I mean, it's really understanding, what it's all about and how it kind of transforms, not just communications, but business.
What I have found is that first you have to establish credibility, and not just credibility in your space, that we know how to handle crisis communications, we know how to drive positive media impressions, but credibility outside of that space, to be a real multi-tool athlete, to be a strategic partner to various business units.
And I also would argue that as communicators specifically, if we can't decode how to interact with our colleagues and if we cannot influence their thinking, chances are we're probably not being very effective with the outside or even with the employees on the internal side.
We've got a saying within DaVita, and that is leaders lead. And you don't wait till you have an engraved invitation to do it. You step in, and you do it when you see the need to step in.
So many of the companies that we work with are going through big structural change, or they want to do big structural change in their communications organization. So, and I think this is a bit analogous to the idea that you have to be more than a communicator in this, sort of world we live in. I think you have to be somebody who can look at structure and say, I'm going to rebuild this for performance.
And I think in our roles, we need to listen effectively. We need to understand the other leaders' concerns, their perspectives, sometimes their confusion about how they can use communications to be more effective leaders.
So the critical thing I think most CEOs or businesses are looking for is CCOs who can create business value. That means you have to understand the business. You need to be able to think critically and strategically about business problems, not just communications problems, and to be able to have your voice heard in a way that is influential. In other words, to build coalitions across the enterprise. It takes the guts to speak up, to know when to speak up, but also to know how to speak up and to do so effectively.